What does it mean to hit rock bottom? Is it the end of the road, or can it be the very foundation for a new beginning? Today, we're going to explore the incredible story of Jack Miller, a man who lost everything but found a way to rebuild his life from the ashes. It's a powerful testament to the human spirit's ability to heal and find redemption, no matter how dire the circumstances. Imagine having a loving family, a stable career, and a comfortable home. Now, imagine losing it all. That was Jack Miller's reality. His life, once filled with laughter and promise, began to unravel under the weight of two powerful demons: alcohol and gambling. These addictions weren't just bad habits. They were relentless forces that consumed his savings, shattered his relationships, and ultimately cost him his job. He tried to hide it, making promises he couldn't keep, but the spiral was too strong. His wife, heartbroken, eventually had to leave, taking their son with her to protect him from the chaos. One by one, the pillars of Jack's life crumbled until he was left with nothing. The house was gone, the family was gone, and hope was just a distant memory. At 52 years old, Jack Miller found himself homeless. His entire world had shrunk to the four doors of his old car. Each morning, he'd wake up not to the smell of coffee, but to the cold, damp air of a parking lot. He'd see families walking by, fathers holding their children's hands, and a wave of shame and regret would wash over him. Desperation was his constant companion. He felt invisible, forgotten by the world he once belonged to. In those dark, lonely moments, it felt like this was the end of his story. He spent his days wandering, looking for temporary work or a kind stranger, and his nights trying to forget the man he used to be. The guilt was suffocating. He had not only failed himself, but he had failed the people who mattered most. He thought about his son, wondering what he was doing, if he was safe, if he even remembered him. The pain was almost unbearable, and it would have been easy to give up completely. But then a tiny flicker of light appeared in the darkness. One evening, sitting in his car, feeling completely defeated, Jack was scrolling through his old phone, a relic from his former life. He stumbled upon a saved voicemail. He hesitated, his thumb hovering over the play button, his heart pounding. He knew who it was from. It was a message from his son, left months ago, before everything had completely fallen apart. He finally pressed play. The small, innocent voice of his boy filled the silence of the car. "Hey, Dad, it's me. I miss you. When are you coming home? I love you." The words were simple, but for Jack, they were a thunderclap. Hearing his son's voice, so full of love and longing broke through the years of denial and self-pity. It was a direct line to the man he once was, the father he was supposed to be. But in that moment, something inside him shifted. It wasn't about him anymore. It was about that little boy who was still waiting for his dad to come home. That voicemail became his lifeline, his reason to fight. He knew he had to change, not just for himself, but for his son. With this newfound resolve, Jack knew he couldn't do it alone. He had tried and failed too many times. Swallowing his pride, he walked into a local church that ran a recovery program. It was one of the hardest steps he'd ever taken. He was surrounded by strangers, all fighting their own battles. He shared his story, the raw, ugly truth of it, and, for the first time in a long time, he didn't feel judgment. He felt understanding. The path to recovery, however, was not a straight line. Jack stumbled. He relapsed. The old habits, the old comforts, were deeply ingrained. There were times when the shame of a relapse made him want to run and hide again. But this time was different. Every time he fell, the community at the church was there to pick him up. They didn't condemn him. They reminded him that recovery is a process, not a single event. They offered him a safe place to fail and the strength to get back up and try again. This unwavering support was the anchor he desperately needed. It taught him the power of grace and the importance of community in the lonely fight against addiction. Slowly, day by day, Jack started to piece his life back together. His first step toward a new future was a humble one. He got a job as a dishwasher in a local restaurant. It was grueling work for a man in his late 50s, a far cry from his previous career. But Jack wasn't just washing dishes. He was washing away the past. He embraced the hard work with a sense of gratitude. This job wasn't just a paycheck. It was a symbol of his commitment to a new life, a steady rhythm that kept him focused and sober. While working in the kitchen, he found himself drawn to the bakery section. He watched the bakers with fascination, how they took simple ingredients, flour, water, yeast, and transformed them into something that brought people comfort and joy. He saw a parallel to his own life. He started asking questions, staying late to learn, reading every book he could find on the art of baking. He discovered a passion he never knew he had. Baking became his therapy, a creative outlet that required patience, precision, and care, the very things he was trying to cultivate in himself. Years passed. Jack saved every penny he could. At the age of 60, he took the biggest leap of faith of his life. He opened his own small bakery, calling it Miller's Bread. It wasn't fancy, but it was his. The smell of fresh bread filled the small shop, a symbol of warmth, nourishment, and new beginnings. Miller's Bread wasn't just a business for Jack. It was a mission. He remembered the feeling of being discarded, of being seen as unemployable because of his past. He made a promise to himself that his bakery would be different. He started actively hiring people who were walking the same difficult path he had. He offered jobs to those in recovery, those who were formerly homeless, those who just needed a second chance to prove themselves. His bakery became more than a place to buy bread. It became a sanctuary, a community hub where people found not just employment, but dignity, purpose, and a supportive network. Jack was no longer just a baker. He was a mentor, offering the same grace and support that had been given to him. He was paying it forward, one loaf of bread at a time. One of the most profound moments in Jack's journey of redemption was yet to come. His son, now a young man, had heard about a bakery in town that was making a difference. He heard about the owner, a man who had overcome incredible hardship. Curious, he decided to visit. As he walked in, he saw a man behind the counter, older, with flour on his apron, but with a familiar look in his eyes. It was his father. That first meeting was filled with years of unspoken words, of pain and longing. It wasn't an instant fix. There were difficult conversations, tears, and the slow, careful work of rebuilding trust. But for the first time, Jack was able to face his son not as the broken man who had left, but as the man who had fought his way back. He could finally apologize, not with empty promises, but with the proof of a changed life. Slowly, cautiously, they began to heal the wounds of the past, starting a new chapter in their relationship, built on honesty and forgiveness. The reunion he had dreamed of in his darkest hours was finally a reality. Jack Miller's story is a powerful reminder for all of us. It shows us that hitting rock bottom doesn't have to be the end. It can be the solid ground you push off from to start climbing back up. His journey from a homeless man living in his car to a beloved bakery owner who changes lives teaches us that redemption is always possible. It's a testament to the idea that with courage, community support, and a reason to fight, anyone can rewrite their story. No matter how far you've fallen, there is always hope for a new beginning. Thank you so much for watching and sharing this time with us. If Jack's story touched you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more inspiring content. And remember, if you or someone you know is struggling, please reach out for help. There are people and resources available to support you. We'll leave some links in the description below. Never forget that your lowest point can be the start of your greatest comeback. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next video.